Is it 6 o'clock?
Yes, it is.
All right, 6 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Seeing everybody here and Susan is online. Moving in. Declaration conflict of interest, if anyone has one, they can do so now. Seeing none. Addition, deletion, or approval of the agenda, looking for anything that needs to be added or deleted. Then I'll be looking for a motion approval of the agenda as is. Second, Councilor Ben, Councilor Sonia second. Questions? None, all those in favor? Against? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes, we will do both as always combined for the regular council meeting of November 13th, 2024. And our committee of the whole for November 20th of 2024, looking for a motion to accept those. Councillor Deely, seconded by Councillor Sonia. Questions on the motion? All those in favor? Contrary, seeing none, motion carried. Presentation to council. None, that's gonna be okay. Just want to be sure, I'm gonna leave you guys out. None, business arising from the minutes. No. Department reports, general government report. Mayor's report, I did submit all my meetings and that online. There was just a couple notes I had on it. One, I wanted to acknowledge, I know Synergy did within their economic development strategic plan, and I just wanted to highlight it, I guess, again, and send a huge congratulations out to our teachers of Fundy Shore School on the marks that they received from the government. They were, I think, 3 of them or 2 of them for sure were well over like 91%, and one was 88. So I did send an email out to the principal, to Mr. Gorman, congratulating him. And he was gonna pass that along to the teachers. So again, goes to show the great work done within our small community of the small school, but they, you know, are putting a lot forward. Second, the RCMP reached out to me to hopefully attend our regular council meeting on January 8th. So just to give everybody the heads up that I did speak with them and send out some what I'm looking for when they come. So hopefully if all goes well between now and then, they will be on the agenda for January 8th. It won't be just because I know we're live. It's not it's a meeting, it's for council, so it's not a public meeting where everybody can show up and they're here to give a report, which is what we wanted. So it'll be up for council can ask questions and get some answers, hopefully. But that's what it's for, is to give us an update on, since our meeting with the minister, where what's been going on, what they've been doing, and hopefully answer some of your concerns. And I believe that was it. I can give my public safety committee report. We did have one. Yeah, see how happy I made you, Anna? So we did have one. It was actually a pretty good meeting and we went through quite a bit. Actually, a lot of the RCMP issues were updated with them. The Synergy Challenge was updated. The Route 790, the issues that we've been having on it on a couple several places, including guardrails, coastal erosion, and the turnabout intersection in LaPro. And also the fire truck, the rescue unit replacement was brought to their attention. They got to take a quick look at what we've seen in the presentation. So they did look at that, and I know it's coming back to us in January, and the recommendation would be to have public safety look at it and then come back to council with it for anything. They'd like to have their input on anything that needs to be put on or taken off or whatever the case may be. Streetlight policy was brought up, and we did discuss the streetlight in Prince of Wales, that it went to the minister just because that was a pre-existing one taken out, and we're hoping to have that discussion of getting it placed back in the Prince of Wales area. And the ramp, when the wires went down up here for DTI, it was a big issue, it was brought up by them again. That we need to have better communications with Gateway, so in the future, we're going to make a note of that and try to get a meeting together to look into that, so it don't happen again. And that was everything on public safety. I guess we should have more than a couple meetings a year, we wouldn't either as long.
It was a busy meeting.
It was. It was good though, it went fast, it was a good meeting. So I will leave that, and move on to Deputy Mayor's report.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I can't be there in person tonight, but it's best that I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So my report was submitted online, although I do have to make a couple of adjustments in it because I was unable to attend the Economic Development Committee meeting last night, so Deanna co-chaired that in my place, so thank you for that. And unfortunately, because of the bug, I wasn't able to make the mayor tree lighting on Saturday, which I hear was well attended and went well. We did have an Economic Development Committee meeting in November. And other than that, my report is online.
Questions on the reports? Seeing none, we'll move on to Councillor Ben.
I submitted my report online as well. It was a busy month. And I would like to say kudos to the organization of the tree lighting event. I would like to have seen more public there, but I think had they been there, they would have truly enjoyed it. It went very well and smoothly.
And yeah, and I did say that night too, and I kind of did forget because I included the committees in that, but a shout out to our community coordinator Bobby for the amount of work she's been putting in, and that certainly was one of them. And yes, we keep hoping that more community will become engaged and involved, and but that's, we can keep asking and hopefully it will grow. Is that for your both reports?
Yes.
Yeah, January they'll both be together anyways. Councillor Gill.
Okay. Just to further your comment about the Englefield South School District and Funny Shores, how they had the high marks, they actually overall had the highest in the district. And just for clarification, in your report, you said that the RCMP meeting wasn't not open to the public, but it is because there won't be questions from the
Right,
public,
Okay.
but
so-
it is open to the
Yes,
public.
so I'll clarify, it is a regular council meeting that's streamed, so it's open to anybody, just we're not gonna get into a question and
That's
answer.
not nothing.
But I mean, people, if they're watching this or at that, if they have a question or concern they want to submit to council or to your counselor, certainly do that, and then you can ask. We just don't want to get into an all-night debate, we want to get some questions from you.
Okay, thanks. So my report was submitted online and was a busy month again, I guess, and we did not have a recreation meeting this month. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to the staff for organizing the installation of the rink liner by Utopia Groundworks. So events coming up, we have the Breakfast with Santa on December the 21st. If you need to register, call and register. And
When is the deadline for registration?
16th, Monday, December 16th at 4 p.m. will be the cutoff for registration. And December the 13th, Friday the 13th, we have the Christmas bingo over at Station 1.
The stairs were replaced over there. I didn't know if anybody noticed on the weekend, but the stairs at Station 1 were replaced.
Yes, they were, yes. Perfect.
Solid?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that when we had our thing. Okay.
And how does Christmas bingo differ from regular bingo?
Usually just a few more people show up. I don't know if they did on those sweaters. I think people just wear them because that's just the, yeah.
I
that's the
just
thing.
thought that was, maybe it was one of the other bingo.
Yeah.
Took our bingo.
Maybe it's a cool idea.
Advertisement.
Wear your sweaters.
Great. Any other questions on Council Bueller's reports? See none. Councillor Sonia?
Submitted and like all of us, we had a busy month going to a lot of meetings. In addition, I did a webinar to, for climate change. Who put that on? Help me with that.
Oh, was it
Not
the,
ACAP.
No.
no, it was,
different. It was a good
was it
presentation.
Quest?
Maybe.
Quest was putting one on, and so was like the Ecological Network here in New Brunswick.
Could have been the ecological network. I'm not sure, but it was well done.
Yeah.
It was very well done. If anybody gets the chance, I would recommend that they sit in on any of the webinars, and they do them at lunchtime. So if you're working, you can usually get around it. And other than that, I didn't have tourism meetings, so that's it for me.
Right. Any questions, concerns? Seeing none. Councillor Thompson?
I submitted my report for Ward 3 online. I did meet with a resident concerning coastal erosion. That person's looking for funding for private landowners for erosion happening to their property. And I also had a call from another resident. This is a different erosion thing. We had talked about this previously on the 790, and we were going to contact BTI. She did a follow-up. She wanted to know if we had heard anything back. But I explained to her that because of the government change, we probably weren't going to get anything for a bit, so I'm gonna follow up with her again.
And we haven't, so, and as you know, our letters went to the minister and to all the deputy ministers, so hopefully we'll hear something back soon and we can. Kind of, I know in a couple of them, we put a lot of stuff in one letter to kind of
Exactly,
get caught up on it, so hopefully we'll get something soon.
and it was a busy month. I attended a lot of different events. Did you want my correct?
If you
And as well,
want to, sure, it's up to you.
Okay, I did submit it online too, and it was a very busy night, a lot of information there. There was a variance for subdivision, division of property in Chance Harbor with a right, it was a variance for subdivide as well as a right of way. And basically what has happened, the owner of the property there is getting the right of way, they did a transfer of land. They gave them the right of way through their property for a piece of property on the water. So they did kind of a swap, so it all went through, no problem. And as well, they had the rural plan. The committee itself discussed the rural plan. And they had a couple of recommendations, which is online too, as to what. A couple of recommendations, they would recommend you all receive the letters, so there's a couple of recommendations for the actual plan to be realized. And as well, the PrAC committee. I think there's 3 or 4 different people that their terms are coming to an end. It's 4-year terms. And the co-chair and then Brian. No, sorry, the chair, Sam Walsh, and then Brian Cornish, their terms are up. Now, the chairperson and the co-chair are 2-year terms. They have agreed to re-offer now, but they will have an election as to choose a co-chair. And they also are looking for more committee members. They would like to have a lot more. And they want people from the eastern part of the region. They prefer to have them like in our area in Booster Park. And they also would like maybe people with experience in real estate, planning, any kind of building permits, things like that. They want people that have experience dealing with these issues. I would hope.
Any questions, concerns?
Skip Wolf, did he resign?
Oh, yes, I forgot that, sorry. Skip Wolf resigned. He joined, I believe, in July, but he had previous commitments and was finding it too hard to keep up. So he did resign, so they're looking for another person right away.
Okay. Before I move on to CAO report, I just want to touch on one thing, 'cause I know we brought it up about the signage for our community complex. So I guess since we're online, it's Deanna kind of mentioned about, not enough people showing up for events or showing up for things, and we need community engagement. Well, the signs did go up last week for the community complex that, that we've been working on. So it would be my strong recommendation, I guess, is now's the time for people in the community to take that interest and start going to meetings and paying attention to what is going on in the community as a whole, and get out to bring your input now than later. We don't want to wait to the last minute and then all of a sudden, whether it's the rural plan, whether it's the community complex, whatever the case may be, and then people start saying, well, I didn't know about this, I didn't hear about this, I didn't. So I would start following us on social media. I would start taking the time and making an effort, because you're right, there's a lot of things going on, but the community complex, as with the rural plan or with anything, but it is going to be a big deal. And, just to put it all on the table, it's not something that we're gonna wave in and out and go up and down over, and the community has to have their input. I want lots of it. I want lots of engagement, but we have to move forward. And we can't just go on social media and be side sways of one or two or three or four people. It's got to be the community as a whole, and that's all of Fundy Shores. So if you want to get out now, have your say, and we can take that input and move forward.
Yes, comments should come before rather than after we make our decision.
And again, being out on your keyboard or on social media or out in the community, talking about it is great. But if you're not coming to the actual meetings or speaking to your ward councilors and letting them bring those things to the table, then that's not going to be, we're going to be listening to the people that are involved and becoming part of the process, because we do have to move forward.
It sounds to me like we're gonna be having a lot of meetings, public
Mhm.
meetings, so to speak. Would it be possible? We talked about this once before for delivery, another delivery method. Having a waterproof bulletin board beside our new sign. It's on our land, so we don't have to get permission from the post office or whatever. And then we can sort of spread the word that that's for Fundy Shores only, and I mean, we'd have it locked so nobody could stick something in it that shouldn't be there.
No, we certainly, well, I
Yeah.
see Linda writing, so I'm not gonna. So, but I think all ideas, everything's on the table, and
It's just one more way of communicating.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Yes, we had quite a conversation again on that last night, that, and I stress that council is doing every avenue that we have. Short of knocking on people's doors. There are no newspapers anymore that are legit. There are radio stations, there's too many. Everybody listens to
Different problems.
different ones, and a lot listen to the streaming ones, and we make every attempt to reach everyone.
well. We want to, and that's what I want everybody to be part of the process, but we can't. You're either gonna be part of it or you're not. And again, we're gonna hear in a little bit about, synergies, the you know, the economic development and the long-term plans, and if we're open for business, we're open for business, and we can't just say we're open for business for this, but we're not gonna do this, or this, because nobody wants it. We either have to come together as a community and as a council and say, here's where we're going and how we're gonna get there, and we have to go. We can't just keep, you know, so either people wanna be part of the process and, you know, and that's why this council has been a strong council. We came on this as a new council with that vision, and we gotta stay the course. So now's the time for people to get involved, and I hope they do. I want them to, but again, we can't just stay stagnant and wait. That's
Agreed.
okay. CAO report.
It was submitted online.
Anything to add or any questions? I look for a motion to accept it.
I really accept the.
Counselor Thompson,
I'll second.
second Counselor Deal, questions on it? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. No report for planning,
No.
none for fire, or public safety. Important. And economic development, synergy, was online. So anybody, I'm sure everybody had a chance to go through it. Any questions? I'll be looking for a motion to accept it, so I guess we'll ask for the motion first. And you go to the question. Counselor Sonia, second by Counselor Thompson. Now questions on the motion? I just seen you looking at your sheets and just being pretty intense. I want to be informed. Okay. So I will say thank you to Brian and Kathy and to the board actually of Synergy for that, and for economic development to Susan and Deanna and the whole committee. Read through it and I liked it. I think it's kind of hits on where we're, I guess what I just said a few minutes ago, it hits on where we're going and what we're doing, and we are open for business, and we need to, we're 18 months, we're halfway through our term, and we really got to hammer down and, I look at it for the next council coming in, that we laid the basement, I guess, or the platform, and we got to leave something for them to come in, and we can't just leave it in shambles, and I think this sets off a really good pace for us, so thank you to Synergy for the work that was done on it. And that would be the only comments that I have. And if nobody has any other comments.
If I can, I'd just like to take a minute
Oh,
to
no,
thank the
no.
economic.
I guess I overspoke that this was for the monthly report, and I guess we're coming up with this economic development. I thought this was the whole strategic document. Sorry, my mistake. So I won't repeat it when we get to that. You guys all know where I stand on it. So is that what you were gonna ask, Susan, was on that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so I'll look for, all those in favor. I guess I did it, contrary minded. Motion carried. Community coordinator report was also submitted. And I'll look for a motion for that to accept.
Make a motion to accept community coordinator.
Councilor Bent, seconded by Councilor Sonia. All those in favor, questions? None, all those in favor, contrary. See none, motion carried. Correspondence. Rural plan review from PrAC. Council received a response from PrAC regarding the updated rural plan draft scheduled for a public hearing on December 5th, 2024, which is tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Now, are they making a presentation? Or are they just gonna have it there and answer questions?
It should be what it was last time, which is, other than he should be hooked up to, like, being able to show the maps and everything, which we didn't have last time.
Yeah,
I didn't make it to the last, it's something going on.
yeah, so we won't go through the whole thing again, it'll just be, yeah, the questions back, we already went through with the one, so,
Yes, and it's on.
so, yeah. Correspondence issued, Robert Govan, Minister of Public Safety, and Chuck Chason, the Minister of Transportation Infrastructure. That was the two letters I sent out last week or a week and a half ago, I guess. That are gone. We have not received a reply yet. And we did receive the reply back from the Premier's office, but not a meeting, just so that they acknowledged our letter and they're working on getting a meeting with us. So we're waiting on that. And I spoke with our MLA and he actually on two things, he said he sent our letters off to the deputy ministers as well, and he also spoke in the House this week or last week and acknowledged the 50+ club in his speech. General government report, which is attached. I will look for a motion on that.
Make a motion to report, accept the report as submitted.
Councillor Dealey, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Questions on the motion?
I just have a comment. I know how some of them, like I'll put paid by electronic funds transfer for. There's gonna be more of those
Yeah.
from what's on that list today. Just because we've received calls from other companies just asking us to e-transfer rather than wait for checks or deliver them.
I have the motion.
You do have a note, yeah.
Okay, questions? Threw me off twice now. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, against, motion carried. Approval of payments, sewage commission for Thompson subdivision, reminder, these payments will be recouped following the reestablishment of the commission, which I am happily to acknowledge.
Is that why there's nothing? in
Right.
this?
I know it
Well,
isn't, I just didn't.
No, it isn't,
They'll be reestablishing like chair, vice chair and all that next week.
and that meeting's next week, so yeah, it'll be another weekend, but there is a commission established. Now. So, yes. Seems I'm really happy about it.
That's all.
Okay.
Why had it?
Oh. Approval of accounts expense report for November 27th, 2024. Look for a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept as report.
Councilor Deal is seconded. Councilor Bent. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary, motion carried. New business. Oh, look at this. Economic development strategy. Look for a motion. That was, yeah, that was what was online, the document. I'm not even gonna speak on it again. You just know where I stand. So I'm looking for a motion to accept that.
What are we accepting exactly? Right.
Is that, well, we're accepting the document as that was presented.
The synergy present.
With, yeah,
Yeah.
synergy.
Labeled as draft economic development plan and the shared drive.
Okay, I've got a question then, but I wait.
So, yeah, so we'll,
Councillor Deputy Mayor Ferguson has a.
Deputy Mayor Ferguson.
I just have a comment and, maybe with response to Heather. The strategy went through the Economic Development Committee, I think, for review. And that final document will lay the foundation for our economic development strategies and community empowerment going forward. So I think that it is important that the council approve it.
Okay. But we don't have to approve it every time it's checked, like each year, yearly, we just have to
I
approve
think,
it the
and
first
I
time.
think if I'm not mistaken, it's a 5-year working document or strategic.
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, there is. It's a 5-year document.
Yeah, it is a primary document.
Okay,
Okay, so motion to accept that,
I'll make a motion to accept it so we can discuss it.
yeah, seconded by Councilor Sonia. Now, questions on the motion, Councilor Deal.
Okay, so for fencing, that was today, and maybe a little behind, I knew we were expecting something, I didn't know what we were expecting. And just reading over, residential and commercial development, should create 25 attainable housing units by 2023. I personally would like some more information on that, I don't know where that, I personally don't know where the number came from, how it was derived, where we're going with that, how it moves forward. So personally, I would just like some more information on that. I'm in agreement with it, I just would like more information. The document was great, lots of information in there, that was good. And maybe under the physical infrastructures, municipal assets, fire halls were not included.
Notice that.
And the funded shores businesses. I'm not sure where that information came from, but there's a lot missing or has changed. And I'd be willing to sit with people to go over that, to discuss that. And then we had the highest provincial assessment in all of Anglophone South, perhaps the province. I'm printing them off to look at them. Trail network expansion,
That's coastal.
coastal link, yeah. You don't know where I think on that, never mind. Marine protected area, Musquash Trails. So it says that Funny Shores is a member of the Musquash MPA Advisory Committee. And who sits on that?
I was just invited to sit on it at their last meeting, but I was sitting in the city at the time and offered to come to future meetings.
Okay.
Because they called and asked to see if I would.
To see, if you- okay. I would like to know what their take is on the trail, the coastal link trail.
According to the last set of minutes, the Coastal Link Trail Committee actually was with them at the meeting. Hmm? Not yet.
Yeah, it
Nope,
won't-
that's all I have.
it's not approved, so once it's
Gotcha.
approved, it'll be public
We
on
don't normally
our site, but not.
discuss that, that's why I was asking.
I can't see that thing.
That's all right, it's just, I just didn't know what it was and that, I didn't think,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not normally in there.
Yeah,
Like, that would normally.
No,
the land, the
That's-
land acquisition at the other end.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'm just.
we'll have to edit that in.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even notice.
Sorry, it's hard to follow the conversation, so I missed that piece,
well, we
but
just couldn't show, there was a piece about land within the document.
4.82 acres.
Yeah, and we just couldn't put it in the document and accept the document, because then it would be public and we don't.
We haven't finalized.
We haven't
any
finalized
negotiations on
anything
it.
for the land yet, so,
okay, perfect, okay.
yeah, sorry about that, it's hard, I can't show you, because then everybody else will see.
Just got ahead of ourselves, right?
Yeah, no, and it's not taken from the document, it's a really good document, it's got, I think, once those few little things are tweaked, I think it's gonna be a great document moving forward for sure. So how do we? Yeah,
I know what you mean, what you're
So-
gonna ask.
okay,
What the mover and seconder can do is agree to table this until January's meeting, so the changes can be made. Or you can continue on with the motion as is and either approve
Make
or decline
amendments.
it. Well, I would wait till the document was complete.
this might be best to table, so.
That-
January, that's what I would say.
So if-
As long
I
as
would
you
go with
guys
you.
are- Yeah, well, as long as you're both in agreement with it, we table it till January, and that'll give you guys the time to make those few little things and then bring it back in January.
No Christmas for you, then.
Don't,
I'm okay with that.
don't text me on Christmas Day, David.
So we're all good,
You still have to vote.
yeah. So the motion now would be to table it till January. And they both have agreed, so now I'll be looking for everybody, I guess, those that are for the. For
Table.
Against?
Yeah.
Seeing none, then the table till January 1st, 8th. And again, thank you to Susan, Deanna, the Economic Development Committee and Synergy. Again, I won't get into another long spiel, it's kind of done it already earlier. 15B, 2025 budget. We will go first budget presentation. And you guys, you all do have the budget and, yeah, this part with you. And the others online, because we'll be looking for motions as well that have been outlined.
I'll just kind of jump into it. Since our meeting, on the 20th to discuss the budget. The insurance tender came back today, but it wasn't finalized, or I shouldn't say tender, the insurance quote came back today, but wasn't finalized. So that's something that, like, the numbers in the document should still be able to handle that. And, kind of that was one of the only outstanding things right now. But everything else is as it was presented, aside from the, capital reserve funding. We had budgeted 205,000 for capital projects and 100,000 into the capital reserve. So that 205 was what changed how it was allocated, the 80,000 for the needs assessment for the new facility and upwards of 125,000 for building design itself. And after speaking with RBC, there is funding available to help support it. So we might not, knock on wood, need to spend all of that funding. But all the other numbers are the same as they were. Any questions that I can answer?
I just submitted it, yeah.
I put the draft in, but I can't submit it until
Okay,
council
so-
approves them. And the tax rate remained unchanged. From last to 2024 to 2025, it's the same,
So
2838.
it's different between the two. Mushbosh and La Pro LSDs, I know we're
No,
not that.
it's all the same all across.
Since last year we weren't, right?
Last year it was because of the services provided by the minister.
Yeah.
And it was because of the breakdown of policing costs. They broke it down, Muskwash and La Pro, and they have confirmed this year that it will be all of Fundy Shores, not by former county lines.
Yeah.
So, everybody had a chance to go through everything. Any other questions? We will be looking for the motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
It's a big long fancy.
Yeah, it's a long one.
And I mean, reading.
So,
Yeah.
Give me my glasses, which one are we doing the motion?
Yeah,
Okay, this is to certify that on the 4th day of September 2024, the Council of the Local Government of the Rural Community of Fundy Shores resolved that the sum of $2,349,848 to the total operating budget of the local government. That the sum of $2,153,942 be the warrant of the local government for the ensuing year, and that the tax rates for the local government be listed above. The council orders and directs the levying by the Minister of Local Government of said amount of real property liable to taxation under the Assessed Act within the local government of the rural community of Fundy Shores.
perfect. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll say.
Councilor Thompson. Questions on the motion? The only thing I'll say again, I know it always seems to be. I'd like to thank Linda for the amount of work that she's put in, for all of our budget, all of everything, but, especially this budget. I know, as we all know, with the Regional Service Commission and all the other budgets, it's getting really tough to get budgets going and get them to where they should be. And I mean, I went to 7 or 8 RSC meetings before we got to that point. So, and I know other councils are struggling. So for us to be able to maintain what we have, with no tax increase, and I want to stress that our mill rate is not changing. So I think this budget really sets us, with our reserves and with everything that's outlined in it going into next year. I think we're in a really good place. And again, back to laying a foundation for future councils to come, I think our last 2 budgets show that we're, that we are, all of you here are a very good council at keeping everything in line and making sure that the money is spent in the right places. So, thank you to everybody for that, and we'll be looking for everybody that's against passing the budget. Signify by saying no.
Okay, you just said all those against passing the budget?
No, passing the budget.
You heard me again.
I was kind of wondering that.
Uh-oh. No, passing it, passing. Others are having trouble getting to the budget and we're here, so we're passing it. I think so. I think, no, that's a 3rd time tonight. I'm not doing great, am I? Passing the budget with glee.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Contrary minded. Hoping for none. Thank you. Oh, I get to, don't even know, why didn't you kick me? Normally you kick me.
That's gonna be out into the universe, that claiming I kicked you.
She keeps like,
I was gonna say, I was the one that wanted, we wanted this budget to pass, what did I do? Alrighty. Year-end transfers,
Would you like me to speak on that?
sure. Probably do
Okay.
better than what I'm doing tonight.
I don't know about that. Did I take your sheet out? That's okay. I finalized the projections for year end. And like to leave a little bit in the account for just like a safety net in case something happens between now and year end. So I'm proposing that the following amounts be transferred out. There's, of course, the scheduled transfer for the capital reserve of 40,000, the operating reserve of 20,000. There was a savings under the general government budget. I'd recommend a transfer of $14,000 where that we didn't spend on a part-time admin. Be transferred to operating reserve. That starts to bring us close to our cap according to legislation. They're allowed 5% of the previous year's operating budget. Where we were in negotiations at the end of last year on the solid waste collection contract, we did realize from what was budgeted to what was actually spent, $125,000 savings. Local governance, local development, I apologize, there was a $24,000 savings on the synergy contract, or 26,000, I'd like to see us transfer 24. And capital purchases, we had scheduled $100,000 to be spent on land, and we were lucky enough to find land that wasn't $100,000. So there's 38,000 that can be transferred to reserve funds. So you'll see, I left on your desk just a copy of some motions if you so decide to take them.
So, I will be looking to council for motions, if you so choose.
Be it resolved to transfer 20,000 from the general fund to the operating reserve fund to represent the scheduled year-end transfer. Be it resolved, do I do both of them?
I do them one at a time.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I'll need a
that's the
second.
first one.
Okay, now I'll have a second, Councilor Dealing. Do you want me to finish that right off before? Any
Yes.
questions on that one? Seeing none, all those in favor? Reminded, motion carried. You were doing, yes,
Be it resolved to transfer 14,000 from the the general fund to the operating reserve fund to represent the savings in general government services.
Second, Councilor Ewing. Questions? See none, all those in favor? Contrary, motion carried, both motions carried. Thank you, Heather. Capital Reserve Fund. We will need 2 motions on that as well.
I can do that. Be it resolved to transfer $40,000 from the general fund to the capital reserve fund to represent the scheduled year-end transfer.
Second, Councilor Thompson. Questions? We keep looking to see if Suzanne's up for me. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. We'll do second or?
Be it resolved to transfer $187,000 from the general fund to the capital reserve fund to represent cost savings made this year from contracts and capital purchases.
Seconded. Councilor Sonia. Questions? None, all those in favor? Motion carried, or contrary, none, motion carried. Okay,
That's a load off my mind.
at all?
But it's stressful. I'm sure it is.
I didn't even want this budget to pass, but okay. Well, I guess, I don't know, I missed that whole thing, so. I'm just glad it did, that was stressful for me. It would have been bad if I had been out and budget didn't pass. Why? It was because of you. So it's year-end transfers, closed session, I'll need a motion for that.
I move we move to call closed session.
Second it.
Sorry.
Team or Councilor Dealing, questions? All those in favor? I'm sure, gonna say the non-contrary, so they said, oh, Sue staying on.
So I'll send you a new link after I go offline from YouTube.
Sounds good.
Wanna do any next meeting announcements?
I didn't know we were coming back in, we're gonna stir it, okay, so next meetings before we go, Thompson Subdivision Sewer Commission meeting is here at the Community Building on December 10th at 6 p.m. Committee of the Whole, I'm assuming that will be it's canceled if not needed, we kind of left it in there that just in case something came up that we needed to be, then that'll be it.
Get a hand.
Oh, go ahead, so.
Is the sewage commission meeting open or is it just for the commission?
It's open if it'd be a public meeting.
Okay,
And we should remind everybody of the rural plan meeting tomorrow night for the community to come have their say.
Yep. Almost a next regular council meeting is January 8th at 6 p.m. at the community building here. And yes, tomorrow night, Thursday night will be the rural plan that's over at Station 1. So those that everybody should come out.
It's also being streamed live.
Yes, it will be streamed but won't be monitored. We'll try to get to the questions if we can, but
Excuse me, how would users be able to see that
They'll be able to watch it on our YouTube channel.
on their YouTube?
so that's, okay, then, is that another one?
Yeah.
All right, and that's everything. Oh, before closing, I guess I did want, I forget this was our last meeting, if we're not here on the 18th, just in case, so. I do want to wish everybody in Fundy Shores and our council a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy holiday and a Happy New Year, because we won't be back until January 8th. So